have gotten a question about which type of almonds to use in kransekake. Now, I live out in the middle of nowhere in northern Norway. I have never seen an almond tree in my life. All I know is we buy almonds at the store. I might have seen some with the outer shell on, but what I mostly see is almonds that look like this. They have no outer shell, but they have this brown membrane on. You can scald the almonds and remove the membrane. I don't do that when I make kransekake. So, find almonds that look like this. Buy them, mill them, make kransekake from them. Now, there are a lot of different ways of making kransekake. Many prefer to scald the almonds or to scald half of the almonds. I've seen all kinds of variations. My tip, mill them like this, with the membrane on. So when you ask me which type of almonds to use, all my choices, all the choices I know of, are almonds in a 250-gram bag, in a 500-gram bag, or almonds that you scoop yourself from a box into bags, and then you weigh them and see how much you're going to pay for them. And that last option is the cheapest around here, so that's what I do. Yes, it's the least amount of plastic as well. When you have this this 10-kilo box in the store, and you scoop the almonds in plastic bags, I think I can fit around 1.5 to 2 kilos. That would be 3 to 4 pounds, something like that. Maybe 5 in a bag. Yeah. And as far as I know, some people use almond flour instead of milled almonds. I have no experience with that, so I don't know. What I learned as a child is use a grinder. It's a kind of slow moving. You either work it by hand, or you have an electric grinder. It's important to not use fast rotating tools with knives and stuff. Whatever equipment you are using, make sure it grinds the almonds relatively carefully, because if they're moving with fast speed, you're risking that your dough will be, I guess the almonds release oil, and that makes the dough hard to work with. The easiest equipment I know of to mill almonds on is a grinder like this. This particular one is to screw on the kitchen counter or your table. I guess there is a flat piece missing here, because I would not screw that pointy thing into my neither my counter, the underside of my counter or my table. If you have a flat piece here, then you distribute the pressure to a larger surface. Anyway, you have grinders like this. I mean manual grinders that are fastened with vacuum. There's a flat piece on the bottom and you press it to the surface, and there's a lever or something. You tighten it. My experience with that kind of grinders is about 30 years old, and the grinders we had back then, they worked quite fine, but as you were milling, you're putting pressure on the grinder, you know, and the suction would occasionally slip, and then you you get caught by surprise, and it's typically knocked over, and the almonds are everywhere. So I was not a big fan of those fastened with suction, but it's been up to 30 years since then. Maybe they've made the equipment that works better. The one we had, it was plastic as well. So I've seen one recently made of steel, I think, some kind of metal at least. So that might work better. I've borrowed this for just for showing, so I haven't used it. I'm just noticing. It seemed kind of don't know if you see the dent in the drum here. Yeah, you can see it there. It looked kind of battered, worn, but it will work just fine. I've had one similar to this, quite similar to this. What I would look for is, I haven't checked enough with this. I don't want to mess with too much with it. But the one I had, I could, if I hold the drum, then I could turn the handle the opposite way and then get it loose. Then I could take the drum out, and you can properly clean every crook and nanny in here. This one, I noticed it's not cleaned. It's just used and then stored. Other things I can look for in this, you can see, I don't know if it shows off well, but there are some pieces here, like tiny ledges. It's just, those are places where the almonds get a bit stuck. That to me is just a little bit annoying. If you can't get the efficient pressure downwards towards the drum, because the almonds are hanging on a little ledge here. And those are also places, this one that's not cleaned properly, you can see maybe the almond dust. It's kind of wedged between that little ledge and the wall. I've checked with this one. This could fit on my counter. I haven't checked on my table. But the thing can be, if this is too narrow, then you might get problems with finding surfaces to attach it to. So the one I used for years couldn't fit on my counter, couldn't fit on my table. What I ended up doing was having just a wooden board, a plank. I even wrote Kransekake on it, just to remind myself that this is the one I used to make kransekake, I attached the grinder then to the board. The board was quite long, and so I guess I had it like, I don't quite even remember, but I think I kind of sat on the plank, on my knees on the plank to keep that sturdy and milled the almonds. I have never checked how long time it takes me to grind almonds with this kind of equipment, but it's always been the thing that takes up a lot of energy, the thing I have to account for when I'm going to bake. Must not forget, it takes a lot of time and energy to mill the almonds. Now about, it's 5 years ago, more than 5 years ago, I bought this beauty. It attaches to my Kenwood machine. This is very easy to pick apart. So this one I clean without even thinking about it. It's just, of course, that's what you do. It also has, there are no ledges, nothing. It's just straight, as you can see here. Solid metal. It's called the Kenwood Roto food cutter. So it's not only for almonds. This here says, and I guess that's right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The drum that we see here, I don't know what that suits for. What that is suitable for. But yeah, with this you have 5 drums. You have the one I used for the almonds. And this one I will say is great for cheese, carrots, other types of vegetables you want to slice. Not slice, but rasp. There are 2 slicing drums. Not sure why, because they look the same size to me. But anyway. And there's this drum that I haven't even thought of what I can use it for. It takes me 10 minutes to grind almonds, enough for 1 cake. That's 500 grams. What's that? 17 ounces of almonds. 10 minutes. So my portions, I always make it triple. Make triple portions. So then I know in half an hour I have milled 1.5 kilos of almonds, enough for my triple portion. So as I said, I bought this the Kenwood Roto food cutter. I bought this 5+ years ago. My machine though is, I think, about 30 years old. So it has, oh, let me see, that was hard to do with one hand. So my machine has another attachment. It's very hard to see. The great thing about this thing is that I could buy an adapter, so I can still use my new Roto food cutter together with my old Kenwood. Then I could take the drum out and you can properly clean every crook and nanny in here. Oh my. Crooks and nannies. Picture little nannies in the almond grinder. Oh my. Of course I meant nooks and crannies. Every nook and cranny. And now I want to hear from you. Have you made Kransekaka? Have you made it with almonds that you mill yourself? Have you tried with almond flour? Are you satisfied with that, or do you want to try with self-grinded, self-milled almonds? What options do you have in the stores where you live? Or do you have an almond tree? Which kind of equipment do you have? Or which kind of equipment do you want to use to grind almonds? Do you have any questions? Or do you want to share your experience? Let me know about it in the comment section, and I'll see you again in another video.